guys, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we will be learning about a very important topic in maths that we learn in grade 7. My bad. And that is called as exponents. So what is an exponent? Exponents, let me tell you, is a very important topic that you have in mathematics, and take it as a base like division, multiplication, addition. So it involves everything. Now I'll be giving you two situations. So our situation number our situation number 1, okay, situation 1 is 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? This is situation number 1. And then we have situation number 2, which is 2 into 2 into 2. Okay, now what is the difference? Now in situation number 1, we've already studied this situation before. So this situation is also known as one more word, and that is known as our what? It's a very basic term that is used, which is repeated addition, and you can also call it as or multiplication. So repeated addition, okay, so this is equal to repeated addition. So you're adding it. Now this can also be written as 2 times 3, which is equal to 6. Okay, it can be written you can write it like that. But what about situation number 2? Is situation number 2 same as situation number 1? No, it's not. This situation is not equal. Okay, so these situations are not equal. Situation 1 is repeated addition, okay, but situation 2 is not repeated addition. It is something called as repeated multiplication. Now repeated addition can be written as 2 into 3, but repeated multiplication cannot be written as 2 times 3. Now this is a very important thing. Now this is where exponent comes. Now repeated addition, this term repeated addition can also be written as multiplication, right? It can also be written as multiplication. Okay, this is also known as multiplication. But repeated multiplication is not known as multiplication. It is known as exponent. Now this is where the rule of exponents come. Instead of writing 2 times 3 over here, we write 2 to the power 3. Now when we're writing it in our notebooks using a pen, we'll write it as 2 to the power 3 like this. But in this I can't, my bad. In this I cannot write it like that, so I'm writing it like this. 2 to the power 3. Okay. Now 2 to the power 3 is not equal to 6. It is 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 into 2 into 2. So 2 times 2 is 4 and 4 into 2 is 8. So remember, never ever in your life they are equal. Repeated addition is not equal to repeated multiplication. Okay, so this thing over here, this over here is the sign of exponents, and when you're writing it in your notebooks, this is how you'll write it. I'm sure you know that. Okay, so we got to know that repeated addition is multiplication, and repeated multiplication is exponents. Now this is quite clear to all of you, right? Okay, now you see exponents. Okay, now exponents also have different forms, right? Now you must, all of you, if you have learned pre-algebra, right, the basics of algebra, you know that we can write a variable as x, y, z, etc, right? So these are all variables, right? We all know this. But when we're writing variables in exponents, then it can also cause confusion, because if we write let's say we're writing x, let's say 2 to the power x to the power 2 into x multiplied by x to the power 3. Now this tiny x over here can cause a confusion. This tiny x can cause a confusion. Let me write it a little bit more clearly for you. Okay, so I'll just write it using text box. So if we write x to the power 2 into x to the power 3, this can also be, because of some misunderstanding, we can write it as x to the power 1 and x to the power 2, x to the power 1 and x to the power 3. Now remember, any number which is written just like that, let's say we're writing 2 just like that, so 2 will be equal to 2 to the power 1 when we're writing in exponents. So same for 3, any number, if 3 is just written like that and you have to simplify the question, then you can write it as 3 to the power 1. Okay, now coming back to the point, if this is how it is, like let's say this is a situation, anyone can have a misunderstanding and say this is x to the power 1. That is why, to avoid such confusion, okay, to avoid such confusion, we can write it as x to the power 2 dot in the middle dot, I'll write it and show you, x to the power 3. Okay, I'll show how to write the dot. So the dot is written like that. So the dot is like this. Okay, I don't know why it's not showing up, but wait, let me try, giving more gap so that I can easily draw. Okay, so the dot is something like that, but except it doesn't look like a 6. Okay, let me try again. Okay, yeah, so it's something like this but a little bit smaller. So it's not a 0, but it's like a dot. Okay, so it'll take a lot of time trying to perfect it on screen. So like you must have understood it, right? So this, right? So this is a very important part. Okay, all of this, yeah, exactly, that's how it looks. So all this part of our sheet is very important, so we must remember this. So from this we got to know that x, the multiplication sign, is also equal to a dot. So either in some textbooks also, this is multiplication is represented by this dot to avoid confusion. Okay, now coming back to the point. Now just like numbers, exponents have what? Different forms. Okay, so if you see numbers, we have like expanded form, this form, that form. Just like that, exponents also have some forms. So previously on the last page we wrote something like this, right? 2 to the power 3 2 to the power 3 is equal to 2 into 2 into 2, which is equal to 8. We did this, right? Remember on the last page we wrote something like this. Here comes the forms. Okay, here comes our forms of exponents. Okay, now this form, okay, this form over here is known as your exponential slash index form. Okay, this is the exponential or the index form. Then this over here is your what do you say, this over here is your expanded form. Expanded form, we all know it's in basic numbers also when we're learning. And this last 8 over here is your what? Guess what? It's your value. This is your value. Now one more important thing about exponents. Now when we're writing the exponential index, okay, when writing the index form, we need to know what? Okay, we need to know something that is really important, which is this. Now let's say this is your 2 and this is your 3, okay, on the top over here. So what is this 2 and what is this 3? Okay, so we need to know this. So this 2 of yours over here and this 3 of yours, what is it called as? So the 3 over here is known as your exponent. So 2 to the power 3 is just the exponential form, but 3 is the actual exponent in the number. Exponent can be also written as your power. Alright. Then over here, the 2 is the base. 2 is the base. So base is the number that is being repeatedly multiplied. Alright. An exponent or power, what is that? Your exponent or the power is how many times the base is being multiplied. So this is very simple. You just need to remember, and my bad, you just need to kind of like remember it and memorize it. Once you've memorized this, then it'll be very simple. Alright, it'll become really simple. So all of this is clear. Okay. Now let's do some practice questions. Okay, so what you need to do over here is, my bad, okay, so so this is a table. All right, so over here this is the exponential form. This table is the exponential form. All right, this over here is your expanded form. Then this is your value. And I have to add 2 more columns. Okay. This is your base and this is your power. Alright, so I'm giving some questions. Now the first one is this -2 to the power 3. Then this is 10 times 10. Then over here is 5, and I'm giving one more thing, 25. Okay, so this is one thing, this is another question, this is question and that is another question. So this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Okay, now 5 and 25 is for the third question. Then 1 by 2 to the power 3 is your fourth question. Now how will you solve this if such questions are given? I'm giving you 2 minutes, actually 1 minute. And this is a 0 over here. Okay, this over here is a 0. Okay, this is 10 times 10. Alright, so let's start. Now over here expanded form will be -2 times, okay, I'll use the typing thing. Okay, now let's just change the color. So over here it will be -2 times -2 times -2. So this is 2 to the power 3. Then over here what will be the expanded form? 25 to the power what? If the base is 5, then how many times will you do it? 2 times, because 5 times 5 is 2. So 5 into 5, and what will be the base? The base will be 5 itself. And what will be the base over here? The base will be 10. Alright, now value over here. Now if the power is an odd number and the base is negative, then the answer will always be in negatives. And if the base is negative and the power is positive, if the base is negative and the power is an even number, then the value will always be positive. So in this situation the base is negative and the power is also odd, so the answer will be in negatives. So the answer over here will be -8. What will be the base? Your base will be -2. Okay, always remember to write these in brackets, any negative number, and your power will be 3. Number of times you are, power is number of times you're multiplying the number, the base. Alright, now second question, let's finish it. Value will be, what is 10 times 10? It is 100. Right? What will be the base? The base is 10 over here. And what will the exponential form be? To the power 2. And the power is over here 2. The base, the exponential form, this is the base. Okay, this is the exponential form. So this is to the power 2. And what is the power over here? It is 2 again. Alright, then is the last one. I'll have to use a pen for this. So 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. Okay, this is the thing, right? So, and this is to the power 3. So the base is 1 by 2, power is 3, and the value is 1 by 8. Simple. Now when such questions come, like 1 by 2 to the power 3, so how do you solve it? Now when you open the brackets, it becomes 1 to the power 3. Okay, how does it come when you open the brackets? simply becomes 1 to the power 3 and 2 to the power 3. So any 1 to the power 3, because 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, so it will be 1 upon 2 to the power 3 is 8. Alright, now okay, so this is how you solve the fraction questions. How to solve fractions. Okay, wait a minute. This is how to solve fractions and exponents. Alright, this is how to solve them. Now are a few questions. Alright, so this is how to solve questions using prime factorization or normal factorization. If a question is given to you like this, how express, okay, wait, I'll write it using I'll type it, question. If the question says express 729 as power of 3, how will you solve such questions? So did you think about how do you solve such questions? Now over here we're gonna be using factorization. Alright, now in such questions we need to see what is important. So we need to express what number, this number, as power of what number, as power of 3. So in such questions, if the question only says express 729 in an exponential form, then you could use any number. Okay, if it says express 729 as a power of a prime number, then you have to use only a prime number. But if it defines what power you have to express the number in, then you have to factorize that particular number with that power itself. So over here in this situation, what we're gonna do is factorize 729 by 3. So 729 by 3 divide is 243. Then again by 3 will happen, which becomes 81. Then again by 3, that becomes 27. Then again with 3, that becomes what? 9, 3, 3, 3, 1. So this is 1 3, 2 3, 3 3, 4 3s and 5 3s and 6 3s. So this is how to do the prime factorization. So our final output is that 3 to the power 6 is equal to 729. Okay, now let's try solving a few more questions. Alright, next question says, the second question that we have to practice is express 729 as power of 9. Now over here again the power has been mentioned, the number that we have to express it in. So we have to factorize the number with 9, right? So how to do it again? So this is 729. If you want to solve this video, if you're confident enough and you want to solve this question on yourself, then you can pause the video, solve it, and then look at the answer. Now 729, this is express 729 is one important word, then power of 9. Now 729 and power of 9. So we factorize it with 9. So this becomes 729. Then what? 81. Then 9, 9 and 1. So this is the factorization for this. So what becomes the answer? 9 to the power what? 1. 9 to the power 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so 9 to the power what? 3 equals to 729. Now for any question you want to solve on your own, or all the questions if you want to solve on your own, then you can pause the video and you're free to solve them. Now the third question is express 3125 as power of 5. So power is mentioned, the number is given, so now we know how to do this. So this is one important information and this is one important information, so we're gonna start solving it. So 53125, you solve it, then it simplifies to 625 by 5, then 125 again by 5, then 25, then 5. So 1 5 2 3 4 and 5 5s. So the answer becomes what? 5 to the power 5 is equal to 3125. This is our final answer. Whenever you are doing this, please do show the prime factorization working. Now we're gonna also learn how to do a few types of questions in our next video. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. 2 minutes in next video. Okay, so in the next video we'll be learning how to solve evaluate questions, squares, square root, square roots, cubes and cube roots. So this is what we'll be doing in the next video. If you're interested to watch the next video and how to learn to solve evaluate questions and how to do cube roots, oh my god, what is this type of thing? Cube roots, and squares and square roots and cubes, then please do like, share and subscribe this video so that I'll be more motivated to create a next video on exponents. Hoping to see you for exponents part 2, and let's just revise what we did in this video. We learned the difference between repeated addition and repeated multiplication. We understood that how to avoid confusion when using variable questions in exponents. We also learned the different forms of exponents like exponential form, expanded form, and value. We learned how to write in index form. We learned the base is we learned that the number that is being repeatedly multiplied is the base, and we learned that the exponent is how many times a number is being multiplied. Then we did practice questions. We did a table for exponential form, expanded form, value, base, and power. We also discussed it. Then we did practice. We understood how to solve fraction questions, fraction and exponents when done together, how to show the working and how to solve them easily. Then we also learned how to solve express questions like express 729 as power of 3. We learned how to do prime factorization of them and how to write the exponent sign on laptops. Then we did some practice questions on that, and then we got to know what we'll be doing in the next video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed and understood the topic.